In 2015, we left the rat race and went to the farm. We bought a 100-year-old farmhouse and 9 acres. After 3 years of extensive renovations, we can finally call ourselves College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Today, we're harvesting turnips. Today, it's our last harvest of the season. We're going to harvest our turnips. It's December the 10th, and we're getting ready to come into a time where there's going to be a lot of teens weather. So our turnips need to come out of the garden. Now, just to give you an idea, I'm going to just pull up a average turnip here. And this is a turnip. Now this one has had something eaten in it. There's a hole all the way through, so I probably won't eat that turnip. But what we want to do is pull these and then just break the tops off and then put them in a 5-gallon bucket. And I want to show you how turnips grow. There have been some questions. I'm a member of a whole bunch of websites that talk about gardening and growing, and some folks wanted to know. They said, well, my turnips are growing on top of the ground. They're not growing under the dirt. And other people were telling them to cover them up. You know, apparently those people didn't know how to grow turnips either. So I want to show you how a turnip grows. So I'm going to take you off the tripod here. Okay, here is a good example of how a turnip grows. If you look right here, you'll see that this turnip is growing right on top of the ground. Okay, the purple part's sticking out and the white part's underneath. I'm going to pull it up, try and hold the camera so you can see. Okay, just a little bit of that turnip is underground. That's all. That turnip is perfect for eating. So I'm going to put it in the bucket, and then I'm going to go back and start getting the rest of them. All right, I'm going to get at it. I've got a bunch of them in the bucket of the tractor. I've picked all of them right around through here. The easiest way is to use your pocket knife. Just take the turnip, cut that off, and leave a little like that right there. What'll happen is that turnip will keep on my back porch for a long time, right like that. I'm going to knock off a little of this dirt. Not a lot. Okay, and I've got a few of these in my bucket, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I'll move my tractor. Just so you know, this turnip right here, see how it's brown right at the head? That turnip has succumbed to freeze damage, and probably the head's damaged too. See, it's brown all the way up here at the head. So I just won't fool with that turnip. I just try and make sure I get the best I can get. Crystal and I don't eat a lot of turnips. 2 5-gallon buckets going to be right at 40 or 50 pounds of turnips. So that's what we'll eat for the winter. These will last on the back porch. My back porch I only heat it to about 40 degrees in the winter, so it just keeps stuff from freezing out there. So these will keep probably till about February, and then they'll start getting pithy, and I won't want to fool with them anymore. But they'll be good from December to February, and they are probably the best low calorie, low carb vegetable, because you can substitute these in any place you'd put in potatoes, and they're really low carb. And we will do a segment on In the Kitchen about these and show you what we do with them. Okay, I need to get the last bucket picked. Why do I wait so late to harvest my turnips? Well, like I said before, it's December the 10th. What's happened between now and October, when these were probably, I could have started harvesting a few. Well, in October, they hadn't had a frost, and they probably would have been bitter. I don't like bitter turnips. So if you want your turnips not to be bitter, you need to let them freeze a little. You need to let them go through some cold temperatures. Now, kale's the same way. I like my kale after it's had frost on it. I want my turnips to undergo a freeze. I don't want them to go to the teens. Okay, so we're getting ready to have some teens, so I wanted to harvest my turnips. But anything in the 20s, turnips can handle it, and they just get sweeter for it. That bitter goes away. So that's why I harvest my turnips so late in the year. Okay, folks, I got us 2 5-gallon buckets of turnips. Now, turnips have been around for a long time. My Irish ancestors, I'm Irish, Scottish, German, you know, kind of a mix-up of everything. I'm a mutt. But my Irish ancestors talked about a little fella by the name of Jack. Now, the original Jack OLantern was not what you think. The original jack-o'-lantern was made from a turnip. Now, that turnip's big enough to put a candle in, but supposedly Jack hollowed out a turnip and put a burning coal in it, and that's what he used for a lantern to ward off evil. Well, the Irish people back during that time, they didn't view Jack as a good guy. They told a lot of Jack tales, but they didn't view Jack as a good guy. You've heard of Jack and the Beanstalk, maybe Jack and the Fork-tailed Booger. There's a whole bunch of Jack tales, and they're told regularly in Appalachia. If you get the opportunity, you ought to look up a book of Jack tales. They're cute little country stories that are great. Most of them have a good moral component for kids, but they made jack-o'-lanterns to keep Jack away. So that's just a little tidbit for history. I got my 2 5-gallon buckets. These will go on the porch, and in a day or two I'll show you one of the dishes from our In the Kitchen series. Be certain to look for our In the Kitchen series. We're going to show you how we cook all of our vegetables that we grow here on the farm. Alright, time to get on to the next thing. I'd like to thank you for visiting with us at College Hill Farm today. I hope you found our videos entertaining and or informative. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment on both Facebook and YouTube. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.